All right. Welcome to Life Coaching Classes and Videos by Universal Recovery 360. You can barely see the sign because the light up here is kind of bright, so you can't really see the logo, but you can see it here. You can see the symbol here. It's all the same thing. It's Universal Recovery 360. But I also do life coaching, and I've been doing that for about 4 years. As a matter of fact, let me see. This was my first sign. You see that? Life coaching, Purnell-based, specializing in self-awareness, true happiness, wellness, and prosperity. My email address and my phone number. It's about 4 years old. I've been doing this for a minute, so I have a little bit of background in coaching or classes, running classes, videos. I want to talk about recovery-related issues. And remember, for purposes of universal recovery, recovery is for all who seek it, right? So when I say recovery, I'm not always talking about simply the disease of addiction or what addiction can do. Some people might want to recover from their pride. I don't know. Might want to recover from their ego. I don't know. You know, they might want to recover from some envious things they got going on. I don't know. But I know this, right? The recovery process is not based on the time you recognize the process as happening. Like, as an addict, from the moment you start using, right? That's not when the recovery process starts. When you're finished using, right? The recovery process goes way beyond that because the reason you used came before you used, right? The issues you suffered from using came after you used, but the things that cause you to use, those things come before, right? Suppose a person had a baby, a young lady had a baby, and she gained a little bit of weight. She wasn't happy about it, right? The weight is part of the process, right? But it doesn't have to be part of the process, but for her it was, right? Let's just say, for instance, right, now she wants to get back to where she used to be. That's recovery. That's recovery, right? Because once you recover, you realize that it wasn't the situation as much as it was you in that situation that caused those things to happen. Because somebody else might not have had the same issues. So people gotta get out of this thing where everything we want to fix is based on all the things we know that we did. We've been doing that stuff way before the drugs, or way before the baby, or way before the pride, or way before the anger. But those things are results of what we were, right? If you want to go far enough back to find out what you were, that's cool. I'm down with it. Makes sense to me. But you have to remember when Universal Recovery says that recovery is for all who seek it, that we mean, right, literally. Maybe you suffering from some pride, right? Maybe you got some anger issues, right? Maybe you got some gluttony issues, right? Maybe you have some intent issues. Right? Maybe you're just so intelligent you don't know what to do with the intelligence. I don't know. And I won't know until you tell me. But I do know this. If you are actively seeking to recover from something, I am actively willing to help. Because I believe it is for all who seek it. Right? If you don't know you need it, yet since somehow you're seeking it but don't know it, because something inside you is telling you it's time, but you just don't know how to respond to that, it'll show when you speak to me or my team. Right? That's what we do. We look for the symptoms. Right? And we work with a person. You know, a lot of people say this, right? Where they're at. Right? That's just a starting point. Where they're at, right? Because we got to go somewhere in order to get some stuff back, right? So the working with them where they're at is a starting point. I'm not going to stay in the starting point for 9 months with a person, because first of all, that would probably be the wrong intent, right? Which I don't do. Probably be a part of greed, which I won't do, right? Which will probably hit my pride, which I won't allow, right? Which will most likely make me angry, which I won't show. Because I've recovered from those things. There's a lot of other stuff I'm still recovering from, right? Because there's a lot to learn. The smarter you get, the more you need to learn. I'm hoping y'all know this, right? That the more you understand, the more you need to learn, right? Because you're gonna start understanding things, have definitions within the definitions that are within the definitions that are within the definitions, and they can go so far back, right, to the root of the issue that it might be necessary, but almost seem insane, but it's not. The thing about recovery is hard when you don't know you're not actively seeking it, but you're in it. You might even be in a program. Go into groups every day, whatever the case may be. But you keep ending up coming back, and you feel like you're actively seeking it, but nothing's working, and then you're starting to get into that place where the back of your mind is reminding you sharperly and sharper every time. Maybe you just can't do this, right? And the more you relapse and the more you come back, the more that chisel hits into that section that says, bang, bang, maybe you just can't do this. Bang, bang, maybe you just can't do this. So all of a sudden, you got a continuous repetition of maybe you just can't do this, right? Because you got a continuous repetition of recycling back into the program. Bang, 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 maybe you just can't recover. Right? That's when people give up, right? But only part of them gives up. That's why they're still at the program, being rude, being rowdy, being loud, being angry, being all the things that they think they're supposed to be in order to be in the program. Knowing up here they don't really need the program, they need more or less a place to stay, right? A place to eat, right? And a place to sleep, and a place to shower. Right? They know they need those things, right? But not so much the recovery part, because they heard it all before. So they come in under the ideal, right, that they come in to get clean. And the reality is once they get the actual things that they don't know they really need, which is like comfort, security, showers, food, right? Then they forget that they need anything because technically they got all the stuff they needed just by walking in the door and signing the forms and being put into a bed. They got everything they wanted right then and there. But they don't know that because they think they want recovery. But the truth is, that's not what they want. They heard it 1,000 times. They have it, right? They just don't know how to implement it. But what they need, right, is a place to stay, shower, place to change clothes, a place where they cannot have to look so bad every day. That is not recovery. But if that is what a person wants, do you work with them where they're at, and is that what you give them, and that's it? No. The idea is to give them the things they need, right? So that they don't have to worry about those things. Then maybe you can kind of get them to work on some other things. But unfortunately, you give them the food, clothing, and the shelter, and all they want is more food, more clothing, and more shelter because their experience says, this ain't gonna last too long. So let me get as much as I can now. So they stuff their faces and they gain a lot of weight, and they get as much clothes as they can, whether it's from friends, whether they ordering it, whether they collecting it, right? And they get prepared, right? So that when they do what they do, they don't have to look bad doing it, right? That is the actual thought process, right, behind why they come in. Right. But it doesn't get treated. What gets treated is, I want to stop using. Right? But they don't know. You don't know who's helping. I'm going to say that again. If they don't know, and you don't know, who's helping them? And you'll wonder why. You always hear them say things like, I don't even know why I'm here. You people can't do nothing for me. Y'all ain't helping me. Y'all ain't even trying to help me. Now, a lot of times they do that because they're selfish and they want something they're probably not supposed to have. But the majority of them believe that anyway because they already believe they have everything they need, which is true. They just don't know how to use it. It's like having a car in a parking lot and you don't reach the steering wheel or the gas. And every time you try, get farther and farther away. It's just not meant for you. That's how people feel. They feel like they're trapped. It's like being inside the dryer trying to stop it. Trapped. See? And if they stop trying to stop the dryer from the inside, they probably figure out a way to get out. But they get trapped and then they panic. Right? See, it doesn't sound like that when you say inside the dryer and you can't figure out how to get out. It doesn't sound like panic when you say it like that, but when you see it, right, or imagine it, right, you can't imagine a person in a dryer tumbling cool as fuck trying to figure out how to get out. Just like, yeah, this is cool shit, but I gotta get out of here. What do? No, you're going to see panic. Right? But everything defined by them is no panic. It's not panic. Right? Pressure. Not pressure. Frustration. Yeah, that's the one. Right? It's hard to say, I need your help. Even if a person says, do you want my help? It's hard to say, yeah. Eventually you're going to get it, though. Again, I'm going to end this at 15 minutes because it's a lot easier to upload. But we'll continue this some more. And we'll start understanding what is happening, why people are being treated or mistreated, right, by the treatment centers that they're in, or why they keep coming back. Because both parties have a play in it, right? But for the most part, even when they succeed, whether it's the treatment center or the person, they're going to be happy about it, right? When they don't succeed, whether it's the treatment center or the person, they're going to be so happy about it, right? But they're going to know, or they should know, that they did everything they could for the person in that moment, including plant a seed for the next time. Because sometimes people will leave you, go someplace else, but take everything you gave them with them and actually use it. This is going to be a lot of people that you don't see anymore that actually get clean, that still give thanks to the people from way back. Because something stuck with them. And when that thing clicked inside that said, I'm ready, it jumped on it. You're going to start understanding at some point that life is good. Right? People fail, places fail. People succeed, places succeed. Right? Treatment and recovery have the ability to hurt a little bit more than the newspaper stand or Frank stand that didn't do so good business today. Right? See, the newspaper stand might not sell as many papers, or the Frankfurt stand might not have sold as many Franks, or they might have had to throw a few away, right? But the treatment center, people die. So we work hard. But you have to actively be seeking recovery for it to help. I mean, there is a thing called keep you safe until you're ready. You can do that too. Let you in. Keep you safe. Hope you wake up ready one day, but if it doesn't happen, take you in, keep you safe. Hope you wake up one day and that you're ready, but if it doesn't happen, we'll take you in, keep you safe. Right? But every time it doesn't happen, the thing that runs through our minds, right, even though we're able to deal with it, it still hurts. We're human beings. That's why we talk to each other about what we go through. The same way we tell you to talk about what you're going through, we do the same thing. I'm a bit different. I speak to anybody about anything. I ain't got nothing to hide, nothing to hold back on. If I'm going through something and you ask me how I'm doing, I'm not going to tell you I'm fine. If I do tell you I'm fine, I'm going to take it back and go, no, that's not true, because that would mean I was fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. And then I'll tell you what's really going on, but that's just me. Because I've found out, right, that it is not just easier to tell the truth, but it is freeing. It is satisfyingly freeing. Try it for a week. Let me know what you think. Gotta go. Love you guys. Keep fighting. Keep going against the grain that says you can't do this. Right? And stay around long enough to find out that you can. All you need is some time and some better experiences. Seek it, and you'll find me. Seek it, you'll find us. Seek it, we will find you. It's what we're here for, and it's what we do. Love you.